Let's go. It's time. Put on pants.
All right, Rod, Ryan, Jason Ginty, episode 26 tonight. Oh, we are going to get into it, bro. We are going to get into it big time. The new kids on the block. I can't believe that just came out of my mouth. I can't believe we're starting off talking about the new kids on the block. We're not really going to talk about them. They announced they're going to be doing a new mixtape tour, and we kind of discussed this offline saying that's going to suck. Let's make our own mixtape tour. So instead of doing a top 5 favorite list, we're going to put together our favorite mixtape of bands, 5 bands that we would love to see go out and tour together. And we'll figure out the parameters of that once we get to that segment. But Rod,
I'm all over the place on that one, bro. Just so you know, I am all over the place because we didn't have a whole lot of rules.
No,
we didn't want to go like huge bands. We didn't want to go like, I'm talking about really producing the show that I'm going to present to you, Jason. Oh. I'm talking about really producing this show.
Okay.
And throwing it out there to Live Nation and saying, hey, I think this will work. Oh, brought to you by the Play Pants podcast. Holy shit. There's our marketing. There it is, man. It takes off around the country. I like that, Rod. I like that. And before we dive into this week's stuff, I know you got some emails and shit. We had a comment on our YouTube channel, which, by the way, this whole thing, if you listen to it, you can always see this disaster on our YouTube channel. Just look up Play Pants Pod. And people love to make comments over there on the YouTube channel, Rod, and I love them. We did our top 5 favorite hair metal bands last week, which was a blast. And you know what? If we did it again this week, I would probably change my list. Oh, yeah. I would have a completely different list as well. Some people sent me some really good ones.
Yeah, and some guy said, hey, I just subscribed to your YouTube channel, and then I watched this episode with the hair bands. You guys didn't say one fucking word about Great White. I'm unsubscribing.
I saw that.
I'm like, good point on Great White. I never really, we talked about them. They don't really fall into the hair band category to me. I know they were alive in that time. They just had more of a classic rock feel to them, even when they were new. They had that weird, just straight up rock sound to them.
I think that they do qualify because we talked about Tesla was kind of one of those on the fringe as well.
Right.
Great White definitely qualifies. I mean, their heyday was definitely during the hair metal days. So I would say that he's pretty spot on for busting our balls about not mentioning them. I mean, yeah, they were great. But yeah, he's mad because not only were they not on the top 5, but we always go off on tangents and they didn't even get a mention on the pod. So yeah, he was pissed about that.
And fair enough. I mean, hey, you know what? Leave your comments. If we're not going to talk about every damn thing in there, we're not going to remember everything. So please we don't care. Bust balls and throw your comments at us. Cause I do this to learn. I mean, I know I spout off about music and we talk a lot about music, but every time we finish a podcast, I spend the rest of the night deep diving in YouTube, listening to music or looking at movie clips and all this shit. Cause I learn so much every week. And Rod, you got a follow-up email from episode 25. I cannot wait to hear this. I'm dying.
So apparently all we do is talk about Raymond on this podcast. Now, shout out to Raymond because last week, and I want you to go back and listen to the podcast, but I'll give you the Sports Center edition is he listens to the pod. He knows that I've been married about 5 years. He knew that Jason had been married a lot longer. And I think he was married 22 years or something like that.
Right.
And kids are out of the house. The wife approaches him and says, maybe we should go on separate vacations. And it kind of blew his mind. And he was asking us for advice, which was weird, but I loved it because I thought it was really good. I got a lot of responses and a lot of people emailed me about it. Raymond also emailed me about it. And you're always wondering when you're asked to give somebody advice, you're wondering, number one, did they hear it? Number two, did they appreciate it? Number three, did they agree with your advice? Are they going to take your advice? Raymond replies, Brother Rod, holy shit. I can't believe you guys spent that much time on my vacation email. I let my wife listen to it. And she laughed.
Oh, thank God.
She's not 100% sure she can get the girls together for a whole week, but we both agree some long weekends apart would do us some good. Love you guys. Loving the podcast. Faithful listener every Thursday after the radio show. Raymond.
Fucking
So,
all right.
Yeah. Again, I don't want to go and rehash everything from his email, but his wife just wanted to flat out go on vacation once a year with her girlfriends and said that he could go and do the same, but he didn't have a whole lot of dudes that he felt that he could just go and pick up and take a week off with.
Right.
You start to get older, it's a little bit more difficult to do those sorts of things. Now she's sounding like she might not be able to, but they're talking about doing some long weekends. So Raymond, thank you for listening. I appreciate you responding. Most of the times when I do these things, I never hear from the person again. And so Raymond, I appreciate you letting us know. And anytime you have any emails, I don't know that our advice is worth anything.
No, probably not.
Yeah, you can email us through here and leave comments and all the social. We're at PlayPantsPod.
Rod, I wanted to just bring something up about this. I actually talked to my wife tonight about it. I said, hey, listen. I said, we got a follow-up email on all the advice we gave. And she doesn't listen to the podcast, which is probably a good thing. But I explained to her that Raymond's wife just said, hey, I want to take a separate vacation from you 1 week a year. And she looked at me like, well, that's an odd way to present that. Like, just say, hey, I want to go to Vegas with the girls. Why don't you find something to do that same weekend? It was just an odd presentation.
How else are you going to bring it up? I mean, you just got to rip off the Band-Aid. I mean, they've been married forever, They're probably crapping with the door open and everything else over there.
Oh, Jesus.
So
good Lord.
I'm sure it's not that big a deal.
Cool, though.
On the day that we are recording this, it is Wednesday, October 6th. Today is the 1-year anniversary of the day we found out that Eddie Van Halen passed away. Alex Van Halen was mentioned recently in a David Lee Roth speech that he gave about retirement, but I wanted to get your take and your temperature 1 year removed from Eddie Van Halen's death. Anything to say about that?
It's weird. It snuck up on me, first of all, because you don't sit around waiting for these, or at least I don't. Obviously, with my radio show on a classic rock station, I do a special noon hour every day. And I played like 3 or 4 songs from Van Halen today, made a little, hey, this is just a tribute 1 year anniversary and let the music do the talking, No, I didn't really give it a lot of thought. It still sucks. I mean, the fact that you can't go see Van Halen ever again is weird to me. It's because that dude was such a piece of my youth and adult life, and the music's always been there, and you always knew that every 4 or 5 years they'd announce a tour, you'd go see them, and it was just something you did. It was a cycle, and it was just, you didn't appreciate it. You know what I mean? You don't know what you got till it's gone. That whole story.
Yeah.
And but as far as marking the day or anything, I just I didn't sit around and crank up Van Halen all day. I didn't. I think seeing Wolfgang Van Halen's tribute to his dad, and it was fairly brief, just a couple of words about it, about how he misses him and wish he could be here and wish he could see him again, all that stuff.
Those are the things that hit me. Those are the things that hit me because I lost my dad. I lost my dad, 20 some years ago now. And it's still pretty raw. It's your dad, so there's something about me sympathizing with Wolfgang. And Eddie hit me pretty hard too. I mean, I don't normally, rock stars, there's a lot of them dying right now. I mean, it's a lot. It's just because they're aging out. And I've always said on this show and even on the radio, I've always said Chris Cornell was the first celebrity death that hit me. I didn't know him. I met him a bunch of times and interviewed him, but I didn't know him.
Right.
But there was something about it. Like that one really hit me hard. And then I would say right below that was Eddie Van Halen. It just was like, wow, man, it's like one of our guys, man. That's one of our dudes. And so that stuff coming up and, just seeing some things online and a lot of tributes to Eddie. It's the Wolfgang stuff that probably hits me the hardest when I see him and missing his dad. And it's like, shit, man, because Wolfie's young and I was young when my dad passed away. And I feel like I got ripped off. I was 30 and it's just like, shit, I'm only 30. There's things that I need to run past my old man. There's things that I need still. And it's like, it wasn't enough time. And Wolfie's around there. And I kind of feel the same for him. I feel bad that, he doesn't have his dad to run stuff by him. But boy, when he did that song, that tribute to his dad, when he did it at BuzzFest, everybody was choked up. Yeah. And he got choked up. I mean, I don't think he's acting. I don't think he's at that point yet, where, you're the front man and you're saying the same thing at every show and you're filling in the blank with the city. I didn't get that feeling. I really felt he was emotional. He said how emotional the song is for him. And even my wife, who, just loves Wolfie now, and her in that moment, like, she got it. And she was just like, wow, my wife also lost her dad when she was very young. But it's the Wolfgang thing makes me feel bad about it, on top of, missing the greatest guitar player, in my opinion, the greatest guitar player of all time.
Yeah, it's weird with Wolfgang because, think about, like you just mentioned, think of the things that were missed. Here he is. He worked his ass off for all these years on this brand new album, first out, played every instrument, sang, did everything, wrote it, produced it, everything. And then, here he is out on tour. And he's getting the success. He's had good album sales. He's out there opening for freaking Guns N' Roses, and his dad's not there to see that. And he finally gets the chance now to go out and be his own man and do his thing. And then, just from a father-son standpoint, that's freaking brutal. Not to mention your dad was Eddie Van freaking Halen.
Did you see Guns N' Roses brought him out for Paradise City?
Yeah, that was pretty awesome, man.
It was pretty badass, man. Cool. I wanted to play a clip on the air, and it just the audio, it was just, cell phone footage, but it must have been great to see that live. That had to be badass.
Well, and I think, he takes and he's a little crazy online because he brings on the trolls, and because everyone gives him shit. Well, you should play a Van Halen song. He's like,
he's young, I guess.
I'm not gonna do that. It's crazy. I wish you wouldn't do that, but. He's trying to make his own hay right now, and make a name for himself. And I think that's awesome. And I think he's got a long, long career ahead of him, man, because he's got the chops. He can sing, he can play. But yeah, the Eddie Van Halen thing, man, it's and we've said this a bunch of times on this podcast. When that band comes to town, go see them. Go see them. I don't care who it is. Yeah. It doesn't have to be, I was lucky enough. I got to see Van Halen with Roth. And Wolfie, whenever it was 10, 15 years ago when they went out. And I was so excited to see Eddie. Every time I saw Van Halen, I was watching the whole band, but it was always Eddie Van Halen. And I'm not a guitar player. I don't know shit about guitars, but it's just something about him. He was more than a guitar player. He had this magnetism, this kind of a aloof goofiness to him. He always had that goofy smile on his face. He just was an interesting cat.
That impish grin, they always said.
Yes. Obviously he had his issues with substances and stuff, substance abuse. But like to say, like, if there was ever a dude you could sit down and have a beer with, obviously he'd be the guy, because he just seemed, not too many beers, but like he just seemed like that guy. Like, yeah, I get the feeling that anyone could walk into a room, and if it wasn't like you being a super fan nerd, he'd be like, yeah, what's up, dude? How you doing? What's up? And I think what really, I thought I had nothing to say, but apparently I have a lot, is I think we found out a lot more about Eddie Van Halen afterwards, because he was pretty tight. He held his cards tight to the vest. You never knew much personal about him. And then
he ran the show, and that whole camp, man, you can't get information out of them. It's the same thing. It's the same thing like AC/DC. They don't tell you anything. They give you just what you need. You're on a need to know basis with them. Van Halen may have been the worst band as far as keeping their fans in the know about anything. Eddie just didn't care. It's not that he didn't care about his fans, just didn't feel it was necessary. I'll let you know when I've got something. You'll be the first to know when you need to know. One of those deals.
But what's interesting is the personal side of Eddie Van Halen. You started seeing more of these videos popping up. He did different things with people. He did a lot for charity. And I didn't know that shit growing up, or you never heard about that kind of stuff, but you found out afterwards. And there's all kinds of videos now on YouTube of Eddie being cool with this person or helping this person out or doing all this stuff. And you're like, where was all that? How come that shit never came out back then? That would have changed my whole perspective on the dude,
I'm sure you saw the video, because it goes with what you're talking about, when he went to go visit Jason Becker.
Oh, that's the one. Yes, I couldn't think of the guy's name. Yes,
so Jason Becker he was this guitar prodigy, and he was slated to be the next big gun, the gunslinger. He was going to be the guitar god, right? And I think he may have ALS.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does. That's what he's got.
So kind of similar to Steve Gleason, he's in a chair. He still he communicates with his eyes, and he's had this a long time. There is a documentary on Jason Becker. Damn it, if I won't know the name, I'll look it up. But there's a doc on either Netflix, Amazon Prime. One of them has it, and it's something about like still being here. And there's a video.
Not dead yet. It's called
Not Dead Yet.
There you go.
It's great, dude. It's great. He just got his break. He had just gotten his break. He was going to be the guy. And then he just got hit with this affliction, and it took over his whole body. But what you were talking about, going back to Eddie, there's some video that never came out until, like, I think after Eddie had passed away.
Right.
And it's just Eddie hanging out with Jason Becker and just hanging out with him. That was it.
Cool, super nice, sweet. I mean, just.
Yes.
And those are the things that you didn't find out until afterwards. All this stuff kind of came out, and then, like, and I'm obviously compounding that video with the distance that Wolfie put out, and you saw these, home movies of Eddie being just a great dad, and you're like, well, we didn't know about that. And that's, that's cool. That was his choice. But man, it made me really like the dude, just as a dude who I never really knew, obviously, more. It's like, God, why did they show that shit or, let some of that out back in the day? But they were rock stars, and there wasn't a form when they were coming up. It was just long hair and go ape shit every day.
It just didn't Eddie didn't give a shit about that stuff. It's like, he knew he was a good person. He didn't have to let you know that he was a good person. He didn't need a camera on him everywhere when he did something. None of that mattered to him. He was a musician's musician.
Yep.
And he was just all about the music. So 1 year anniversary of Eddie Van Halen, RIP. Last week, David Lee Roth put out a video kind of out of nowhere and said that he's retiring.
Right.
He's got some shows coming up at the beginning of the year in Las Vegas. You know that bands don't ever retire. Does David Lee Roth, is he different than anyone else where we're expected to believe him that he will absolutely retire after these shows? He says these Vegas shows, first of the year, are the last time he's going to perform. Is there any reason that I should believe him?
You know what? For some reason, now that you bring that up, I didn't even think about this part of it, but yeah. You know what? I do believe David Lee Roth, and I know that sounds crazy, but I do. I think he's done. He's always been his own man. He's as wild as they get. And you listen to the guy talk, and you need like a thesaurus and a dictionary to figure out what the hell he's trying to say. But I really, I listened to the announcement, and I listened to it, and I'm like, yeah, there's no bullshit to this announcement. He tells a great story. He says he talks to Alex Van Halen almost 2-3 times a day. Didn't know that, and they laugh and they have a great time talking about the old days and all this shit.
Yep.
I think that's it. I think, I don't want to speculate, but I'm gonna, because that's what we do. I'm
trying to think of a band that said we're done and stayed done.
REM.
Yeah, you're right. REM.
Yeah, they just came out and said, hey, we're done. We did it. We're done. And they haven't ever came back. And I'm sure they've had tons of offers.
If you look at the rock world, obviously the first thing that comes to mind is Motley Crue signing the contracts. Just going through that whole stupid dog and pony show.
And it felt like it at the time. Sitting
down and signing contracts to say, when we're done with this tour, we're never allowed to play again. We can't get back together. We can't play. Nobody can use the name, blah, 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 blah. They signed contracts and they did a whole thing. I mean, it was, and then there's Gene Simmons, who this farewell tour started in the year 2000. Okay. When I went to go see them, put their makeup back on. Ozzy did a No More Tours tour that may have been in the 90s.
Probably 92, 93. Yeah, because
it may have been in the 90s.
Yeah.
When Ozzy said he was done. And then bands will just say, yeah, it's our final tour, but we're extending it, and then it goes on for 4 and 5 and 6 years. And I think the Scorpions maybe have been a little guilty of doing that.
Probably.
There's bands that are still out there playing Deep Purple. They just, we're kind of almost getting there where it's going to be it. At least the Stones never fuck around with that. If we decide to tour, we're going to tour. They never say this is it, but that seems to be like the thing. I don't know if I believe David Lee Roth. The only thing that I thought was interesting that he mentioned is his doctors don't want him up on stage, or he mentioned, however, in his Dave speak, because he said something about Edward and the Marlboro Man.
Right.
Okay. So Eddie was a big smoker, but he also said that his doctors would be, however he said it, excited about him not being up on stage anymore.
Yeah.
It's like Dave is like the most in shape, fit dude ever. He looks like he could run a marathon tomorrow, but he did mention something about doctors. And that was kind of the one thing that he said that maybe led me to believe that, okay, this might be one of those real things that he's walking away. I think listen, you got to do what you got to do. If anybody has seen David Lee Roth in the last 20 years on stage singing, it's not good, man. It's just not good. It's cool. I love Dave. He's the greatest front man of all time. I'm not arguing. He's the greatest front man of all time. Nobody did it better than him. He just never was in any argument for the greatest singer of all time. And even in his prime, he just wasn't that great. But boy, the last 20 years has not been good. So I think it would be super classy of him to say, I'm going to do these shows and walk away.
I think that's what he's going to do. I really do. I think he's done, because he also mentioned like, hey, look, this is the only time I'm going to mention this. This is the one-time deal. I'm going to say it. Spread the word, do whatever you got to do. The real reasons are locked in a safe somewhere. So, I think, he might have some physical ailments. And he says that, he talks about it in the announcement. He says, and again, to paraphrase David Lee Roth is impossible, but I'll give you the best gist of it. He said, look, we do it like we did in the old days. We rehearse, and we rehearse 1,000 times to do one show. And I'm doing that right now for those shows, so he puts the effort into it. And he said something that, I took as a great piece of advice that is something you've heard a million times. He says, look, I don't care if I go see a marching band or a kid with a flute. I want to sit in that audience and I want to see them give everything they got and walk off destroyed and drained at the end of their performance. I want to see that every time. I don't care what I see live. I want to see that. And you're damn well guaranteed you're going to get that out of me again, like you have my entire career.
Well, he's selling tickets right there. He
is selling tickets. He's selling tickets.
He's like a boxing promoter, man. He's super smart. He's selling tickets. I'm sure those shows are either just about sold out or all sold out now, thinking that this is going to be the last time Diamond David Lee Roth is ever going to be on stage. The other thing that I kind of got from it, and this is me taking 1 and 1 and getting 50. The mention of Alex. Will Alex show up and play drums? Will you see Alex Van Halen on the kit behind Dave to say goodbye?
Man, that would be hard for Al if you think about that. His brother's not going to be there.
Nobody asked Al if he wants to be done. His brother was running the show. Eddie's running everything. Now, Alex is going to back his brother's play. Those guys are thicker than and tighter than anybody. But you don't think maybe Al wants to get up on stage and put a spotlight on me for a second? Man. It's not disrespectful. It's not disrespectful to Eddie.
No.
And it looks like he's on pretty good terms. If you go back to Wolfgang's Instagram, hell of a run, Dave. And it seems like would there be special guests showing up? Now I'm selling the remaining tickets for Dave's show right now. I think it's open that if he's never ever getting on stage again, Alex, come by, man. Let's do Hot for Teacher one more time.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. It might be weird for Al to get up there without Ed there. That might be too much. That's powerful stuff you're talking about. Think of all the thousands of shows they did. So I'd love to see it, obviously, but no, I think he's done, man. I really do. I don't feel like there was no big press conference. There wasn't. He just kind of did this quick one-off thing and hasn't said shit about it since. Just tuck that away. Tuck the special guest. I like the idea.
Tuck that wild card away. If they do show up, if somebody does show up, then I'll believe Dave that these are the last shows, because he would have to tell Alex, listen, I'm not fucking around. I'm serious. When I say these are my last shows, dude, I need you back there for one song. I need you to come to Vegas.
It would be pretty cool.
Then I'll believe him. If there is any kind of a special guest opportunity, if something happens, Because I think people are going to want to get up on stage with David Lee Roth,
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
But maybe Billy Sheehan comes by, and maybe, where did he leave things off with Steve Vai? And where did he leave things off? Do we see this conga line of people coming up on stage and jamming with Dave? Now I'm almost selling myself a ticket to go see David Lee Roth. And I know how horrible he is on stage.
Oh,
I love him, but he's just horrible. So
yeah, he doesn't have the chops to sing anymore. Going back to Kiss and Motley Crue, those felt like publicity stunts. Doc McGee's both of their managers at the time. And he's just, he's one of the greatest of all time for managing bands. The Motley Crue thing, just even when they sat down, I'm like, this is too staged. This doesn't feel right. They're never going to fucking call it quits now. There's too much money in the future. This is nuts. Even then I felt that way. And Kiss, from day one, I was like, fuck, they're going to play forever.
Correct.
But this just feels different. Maybe I'm wrong. I think this is going to be it, man. And really, what's he playing? Like the House of Blues or some shit out there? It's not like these are big venues he's got to sell out, So I don't know how many tickets are out to sell at the end of the day.
They got to be gone. They got to be gone.
My wife said, hey, would you like to go? And I said, no, I don't want to go. She's like, why? I thought you loved Van Halen. I go, yeah, I loved Van Halen. I skipped the last go around with Van Halen because I'm like, I saw Dave 12 years ago or whatever it was. And I'm like, that kind of hurt a little bit. It kind of hurt a little bit. I'm like, I don't want to see him now. Love him.
Go back to Van Halen at the US Festival in '84. It's not good. Okay. No. Live is not good. He's just
singing.
He's just singing. He's just so great standing there. He's just so great on stage.
And that's what covered up the singing.
All right. I wanted to mention one other thing, and I wanted to get your temperature a little bit of being there. I'm doing some endorsements, and I'm talking about our good friend Sig, who, we talked about him when we talked about the anniversary of 106.7 The End. And Sig was a guy that came in and replaced me. And then ultimately I come back and we ended up working together and became great friends and still great friends to this day. Sig is behind the NOLA by NOLA. Right. Sig for a long time was working with Voodoo. And then he went off to do some other ventures, but I believe he's always maintained a residence in New Orleans. So I think that's his. If you go to nolabynola.com, I believe he's got all of that registered. That's his. So I know he's behind this. No Jazz Fest. I was supposed to be going into New Orleans this weekend. Oh. The mother flipping Foo Fighters were supposed to be playing this weekend. This was Jazz Fest weekend.
Yep.
This was Jazz Fest. Okay. I just canceled my plane ticket 2 days ago.
Damn.
I was so mad. I'm so mad. And then I'm thinking, man, I should have come in. So there's something going on. It's called NOLA by NOLA. They're trying to generate something. It's the first year. It's just going to be bands, local bands in clubs, and it's all over. And it seems like they're trying to get everybody on the same page. NOLA by NOLA directs you to NOLA.com, which I'm also doing spots just for the tourism board. Is there any vibe? Is there anybody talking about it? Again, it's the first year that this is happening. So I just wanted to give Sig a little love because it starts this weekend and it's going to go on for 10 days. So the 7th till the 17th, 10-day festival, but in clubs and local acts.
Well, I think what it does is it gives all of these bands and really just as importantly, all the venues, a little spotlight outside of New Orleans, when you say local bands, it's a little weird to say local bands for New Orleans because they're all so freaking great. And it's not just rock bands, it's everything. It's
they're nationally, they're local bands that are nationally known.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
In circles, you know what I mean? You've got jazz and you got funk and you got all these different bands playing all over the city. And, I went through the lineup and it's like, oh my God, you're right. And as a local who goes out to all these different clubs and the Spotted Cat down in the Marigny and all the other ones, and Tipitina's and Howlin' Wolf and all these places, it was a nice reminder because it's been almost 2 years since I've actually gone out and done any of those things. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about going out. Oh yeah, I forgot about that band. Oh yeah, I forgot about Rock and Roll, or I forgot about this, or I forgot about
that. I saw Rock and Roll.
So for me as a local who liked doing those things, this is a great reminder of, hey, these bands are still here. They just haven't been able to play, and these venues are still struggling, still hanging on. So get your ass out. So I'm I'm excited about getting out and seeing some of these acts again, because it has been so damn long to see any music. And in these venues, I mean, you lived here for quite a while and you've been to a bunch of these different places. When you see certain bands and certain venues, man, there's just something special about it. Seeing Preservation Hall at the Preservation Hall All-Star Band at Preservation Hall, there's nothing like that in the world. And you don't even have to like jazz music. You go, you sit your ass down on the floor. It's hot in the summertime. I know I'm not doing a good job selling this, but it's awesome. It's one of the coolest things you will ever do, man.
No bathroom.
So freaking great.
No
drinks, nothing.
No bar.
You walk in 45 minutes, but you know what? I sit in the front row every time on my ass on the floor, and you gotta lean back because the trombone guy will hit you in the face with the slide. So yeah, this is great, man. This is a great opportunity. Especially
it times out with some national acts in there though. So I think I've told you before how much I love Blackberry Smoke. They're playing House of Blues this weekend. So they're playing Friday and Saturday, I believe, with a local band opening up. Rival Sons is playing here on Friday. They're playing you on the 12th. Rival Sons is fucking awesome. Okay. Just a straight ahead rock band. Blackberry Smoke is definitely more of a country type of rock, which I'm liking more and more. Rival Sons is just a flat out rock band. So they're playing on the 12th. Cowboy Mouth is going to be playing Mid-City Lanes on Friday. It's just to get people excited. So I don't know how many people are going to fly in for it, but I love SIG, and maybe this turns into something down the road. Obviously, the NOLA by NOLA is a tip of the cap to South by Southwest, which we all know what happened in Austin, Texas, and this thing has taken off. And that started out small and local, and then it became massive. So you got to start somewhere. It starts this weekend. It's not too late to fly into New Orleans this weekend. Book a pirate tour while you're there. Nice job. I like the way you worked that out. Now, think about this. Going forward, Jazz Fest won't be in October. It's always last weekend of April, first weekend May. Voodoo's not happening this year. They say it should come back next year, but this would be great if they did this every year this time of year. Think about how badass this would be. You've got these 10 days or whatever it is, and then you got a little time off, and then boom, right into Halloween weekend and the Voodoo. This would be awesome if he can keep it going every year, and I hope he does, because I think it can grow. You start bringing in more and more juice and more people and stuff. I think it's gonna be great, man. I can't wait to get out and get dirty in some clubs and go see some damn music, man. It's gonna be great. I sent something to Jason the other day, and I know that I said I'm gonna really try to sell you on this because it's a stretch. The headline is New Kids on the Block is going out on tour, right? Jesus Christ, what the hell? But they're calling it a mixtape tour. Now, hang on. This is what caught me in. Mixtape. Okay. I definitely have. Everybody's made mixtapes before, or if you're a certain age, you made mixtapes before. Right. So they're calling it the mixtape tour, and it's next year, and New Kids on the Block, Salt and Peppa, En Vogue, and Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up, Rickroll. So Jason's like, what the fuck you sending me this for? I said, hang on. I go, hang on a second. I go, hang on. Let's do our top 5 Rick Astley songs. What the? I don't know. I think people, that's the thing that's going to send our podcast to the next level for getting hits. You want downloads. You want people to slam the subscribe button. If we do a top 5 Rick Astley, no, I said, I'm caught up on this mixtape thing. I go, what if we made our own show? There wasn't a whole lot of criteria. Don't go fucking telling me that the Foo Fighters are playing with Metallica and Slipknot is opening. No. It's not fun. It's because, number one, it's just never going to happen. But give me some bands and make a mixtape. Put a show together. Give me 5 bands. Put a show together for me. It's hard. Mine can tour. Mine can tour. Mine could easily. Mine can tour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 bands. I'm going to give you my mixtape on the flip of this break. You're prepared? I got 8 bands, so I got to whittle down. But I want to go through the criteria when we get back, so that I can scratch some out, man. I got to scratch some out. Okay, relax. Here's what I did, and this is just you can do whatever you want. I'm gonna. You can do whatever you want. You explain what your show is all about. I just knew that we did this, and it was so much fun talking about all the hair bands and all the hair metal. I wanted to put together a hair metal festival so bad. And I'm like, no, we just did that last week. Yeah. So I stayed away from all of that.
I did not.
So that was my only criteria.
Okay.
I stayed. You don't have to put together a fucking hair metal tour, and I will be there. A hair metal mixtape show. I'll be there, bro.
All right. We'll get into it in just a second. But first, man, Lucky's Pub West, I-10 at Barker Cypress. College football all day long on Saturday. Pull up a chair, chill out, and get ready to have some fun. And, of course, all the NFL games on Sunday. I don't know about you, Rod, but I'm pretty damn excited about Sunday night. Buffalo Bills taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. You're staying up for this game, I would hope. I would hope like hell you're staying up because this could be badass, man. They got that game on and all the NFL games all day long Sunday. And Astros baseball postseason. Are you kidding me? They got some day games as well in the playoffs. So bring on the day drinking. Yeah, who needs to work, right? Just go to Lucky's, kick back in front of those 40 TVs and suck down some suds. And, of course, the amazing food. Best pizza on the best side, killer wings, burgers, and, of course, the famous Philly cheese steak egg rolls. And coming up, God, I wish I could come in for this, man. The first ever Boobs Rock car show.
Yeah.
Saturday, October 16th, very, very soon. And it's all cars. I mean, you're talking classic cars, Mopars, Dodge, Chevys, Fords, all that stuff, and newer models and all that stuff. Like, it's everything, right? It's everything.
Absolutely.
Everything. All right, dude. Oh, God, I love it, man. Oh, anyway, the first ever Boobs Rock car show coming up on Saturday, October 16th. Get details on the Lucky's Pub West Facebook page, Lucky's Pub West, I-10 at Barker Cypress. So this mixtape thing, picking 5 bands, Rod. So when you sent it to me, I was like, okay, obviously you can't just go Foo Fighters, Metallica, Rage Against the Machine. You know what I mean? Like, that's obvious. I'm done. Off the top of my head, I'm done.
Right. And I thought that would be too easy. So at least you
dig down.
So you agreed with me that.
Yeah, it can't be that. It can't be Pearl Jam. It can't be any of the bigs that are out there right now.
Correct. So in the spirit of the bands that are playing the real mixtape tour, New Kids on the Block, Salt and Pepper, In Vogue, Rick Astley, they're not all the biggest bands of all time, but they're put together, and I think an audience would show up to that. So I'm letting you play concert promoter.
Oof, never a good idea.
And instead of a top 5, give me 5 bands that you put together on your mixtape. This is Jason's mixtape concert tour.
Dude, I'm crossing things out as we speak. I'm crossing shit out.
But there's really there was no rules outside of don't fucking go Metallica, Rage, Foo.
The obvious. Yeah, you gotta skip.
But that was the only rule.
Yeah.
You could have done one-hit wonders. You could have done, if you wanted to do a little bit of country, a little bit of rock and roll, a little bit of pop. There was no rules for this.
Shit, I fucking hate this job, dude. I fucking hate it. Can I just tell you the top 5 every week? It's just me off.
But this is a wrong one, though. This is weird. This is a weird assignment.
I like this one, though. I really do like this. So it's just 5 bands, and I kind of went and dove down into the weeds a little bit, not too far in the weeds. And basically it's just bands either I haven't seen or haven't seen a long time, would like to see again. It's kind of my criteria. I'm crossing another band off my list right now.
Now I wanted to sell tickets to my show. So
I got 6 still.
You have skin in the game now. This is your mixtape concert, and you're telling me that this is going to go out and people are going to buy tickets to it.
Ooh,
okay.
Well, I don't know about that.
Okay.
I'll be there.
I'm going to sell tickets to my show, dude. I'm going to sell tickets to the show.
Yeah, mine's too weird. All right. I got to cross off one more. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 3. Fuck. All right. You know what? You know who? And they're out right now. So the criteria is that the bands have to be alive. Okay. Or most of the members have to be alive. Okay.
We said that this is an actual show that you would do. I mean, I don't know if everybody from NKOTB is in, but if one guy's not there, I don't think anybody gives a shit. So
they don't know. Yeah.
My criteria was that you had to be able to actually put this show together. So we're not bringing back Sublime.
No, because they're out
Okay.
with a different version of that band. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I'm down to 5. I just did it right now. Fuck, I hate crossing bands off.
Now, are you giving me the stage order? Who's headlining it?
Shit. No. I'll let the smart people figure that out.
Okay.
All right.
I know who's opening and who's closing.
I didn't get that far down to the weeds here.
Bro,
okay.
I'm telling you, I'm selling tickets to my tour here.
Okay.
My mixtape tour.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 bands. Okay, this is weird. This is a weird fucking lineup. Number 5.
Are they opening up your festival?
Fuck me. Okay, I'm trying to do it in my head right now. You know what? This podcast is never going to end. All right. Number 5. And I put a lot of thought into this before we started. I swear to God, I have. Number 5.
This is Jason's opener.
Number 5. Opening my fuck up fest. The fuck face
fair
fest.
enough. Fuck face fest.
I want to bring in my Australian buddies in Silverchair. I never saw Silverchair live. I don't know if they're good or bad live.
Oh, they're great, dude. You didn't go to the House of Blues back in the day?
I missed it for whatever stupid reason. Number 5, I want opening the show Silverchair. And I love Silverchair. I've grown to appreciate that band a lot more. I know they took a lot of shit, the Nirvana bees back in the day when they were hot and they were 17 years old. But I want Silverchair to fucking go out again, man, because they got some songs. And
they were tight, dude. They were young kids, but they were tight, man. They were really good live. Those kids could play.
All right, Silverchair. And then,
I like that.
And then I want to go into, and they're out right now too. And I don't remember if I've seen them. I've seen the guy around town a lot back in the day when he lived here. Wow. I want to see Soul Asylum perform.
Okay.
Runaway Train, it was just the anniversary of Grave Dancers Union. Fucking great album, man. And Soul Asylum.
Dave Pirner.
Yeah.
Pirner.
He lived here for quite a while. I had a studio here. And I actually interviewed him once, and he was just fucking mellow, cool guy, didn't give a shit. Just, hey, let's play some music. Let's be cool. Told some great stories. But that's one of those bands that just never got, they won a Grammy and shit for Runaway Train. I'm not saying they didn't do well, but they just got lost in the grunge world. And because they didn't have that, they just kind of didn't quite fit in. But I want to see Soul Asylum on my list at number 4.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, here's where it gets fucking weird. And I know you love this band. How do I do this? Fuck me. You know what? I think I might have to tour Canada with this tour, and it'll do great in Canada. At number 3, Our Lady.
If you're putting
Peace.
Triumph back together, I'm going to hate you.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Hey, don't skip ahead. Number 3, I want Our Lady Peace. I want Our Lady Peace. That band.
Oh, all right. Okay.
So great live. So freaking great live. And I've seen them 5 or 6 times. Got to interview them, got to meet them different times, and just fucking cool. And they've been kind of out there doing this, no one's really doing anything, obviously, with COVID, but they just kind of been floundering around and not really doing anything going out yet. They would be great to get back on the road. That's at number 3. And then here's where shit gets weird. And if you want to talk about selling tickets because you want a diverse audience, right? Right now I've got you look at Soul Asylum, Silverchair, Our Lady Peace.
I got diversity right here.
That's basically the same crowd. That's your same age group, So
sure.
Now we got the 40, 50-year-olds going. Now let's get some older guys going.
You got a great 1996 show working right now.
Yeah, well, I'm about to fucking blow it up with White Snake at number 2.
Whoa.
I am whipping out the White Snake at number 2 because we're going to go old school. How do you not? After all the hair metal last week, I'm like, I got to go see White Snake one more time. I just got to. So I'm hoping to do it. David Coverdale's 70, but he's still in great shape. And then you already ruined it. I'm putting Triumph back together.
You are?
I
just threw that out there. You're putting Triumph back together?
I told you, if we go across Canada, this tour will kill. In the north, if we go hit Buffalo and you go across Canada and end up in Vancouver, now in Seattle and all that way, this would be a great tour. So yeah. So let me go rewind the tape here. Number 5, Silverchair. Number 4, Soul Asylum. 3 was Our Lady Peace. 2, Whitesnake. And then you close it down with a reunited Triumph.
Wow.
Now, this is assuming all these bands can still play, still sing, and still be great and all that.
Yeah, I don't think Triumph.
Yeah, there's a reason they haven't gone out, and I don't know what it is.
Rick Emmett can still sing. I don't know. I don't know if the drummer is up to it.
Right. Well,
I don't know.
I mean, hypothetically, speaking, this would be a great weird show to go. So, how many tickets would I sell? We're not playing fucking stadiums. I guarantee that. This could be, like what do you got there at the Woodlands? What is that, like 17,000 people?
Yeah.
This might work in big cities like that.
Okay. That's a good show. I'm buying tickets to that show. I'm buying tickets to Jason's mixtape show.
I like it. See, because the criteria is weird. You can't go bigs, and the second you say Pearl Jam or anything like that, fuck you, you're out. You're no good. No, you got to go down a level and kind of get weird on it. And you know what? My alternates, I had the Scorpions and I had REM and I had the Goo Goo Dolls. So those were my alts.
Okay.
Which were still great choices too. REM's not coming out of the woodwork. I don't think so, but that would be.
No.
It's a shame.
Like I wanted In Excess and stuff like In Excess. I wanted In Excess so bad. I never saw them live. I never saw In Excess live, and that is just pisses me off.
Yeah.
Now, and I knew that they went out and because they did that Rockstar show and they plugged somebody in, but I don't think they're doing anything. As a matter of fact, the songwriter guy. He just put out something recently, and he's a great songwriter. Okay, so I've got my opener. I've got my closer. This is my mixtape. I'm all over the place, and I told you, I love Whitesnake. I love your Whitesnake placement. I think everybody's placed in the right spot on your show.
I think that works.
We just did all the hair metal. I said, okay, I'm going to stay away because I would just put together a hair metal show. I mean, and then I would just pay him all the money, and then you and I would be sitting there in somebody's backyard and we'd be watching them. Cool. Opening the show, he's still alive. He doesn't perform. I don't know where he is. I don't know where his head's at, but Billy Squier would open up my mixtape festival. Billy Squier, where are you? I am not upset about that dumb dance in that video. Rock Me Tonight. I'm okay with it, bro. Come back to me. Come back to me. Billy Squier, I would kill to see him.
I think he's still available. I think, and if memory serves correctly, and I might have this wrong.
Doing anything, dude.
He played Voodoo a few years ago.
I don't think so.
I think he did. It was like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. I'll have to do the homework on that. But he's a guy that's got
Billy
hits.
Squier.
He's got hits, and he could sing. And I don't know where he is today, to be honest with you. That's good.
Okay.
I like that one.
Okay, so Billy Squier is opening up. If I can pull him out of retirement, I think I maybe have a better chance of getting Squier than you getting Triumph back together.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah,
I think it's Gil Moore. I just don't think he can. I don't think he can do the drums. In at number 2, Diversity.
All right.
Hits. I'm selling tickets to this show.
Oh, look at you.
Alanis Morissette.
She's out right now.
Alanis Morissette.
Yeah.
She's awesome live. She's killer live. And she's going to be doing nothing but just hits, right? She's just going to be singing hits.
Nothing but. Yeah, no, she's fucking great.
I'm going to give her 40 minutes and she's going to do nothing but play hits. And I'm bringing chicks to the show. But don't worry, chicks are coming to these other shows. Chicks are coming in for these other bands.
Yeah, I got no chicks in mine.
No, you got no chicks. You got a swinging dick fest.
Yeah, it's weird. I guess.
Okay, so Squier opens. Alanis Morissette goes on next. Would you please make way for a legend? Billy Idol, everybody. Billy Idol goes on 3rd on my mixtape festival.
He's good live too, man. He's really good live. Billy Idol's good. He's a fucking entertainer.
I never saw him live.
Yeah, no, he's great.
He's done a couple of these iHeart things, and he looks fucking great. He looks killer, and he can still sing. Yeah. He's got all his hair. He's in crazy shape.
Yep.
And he's got the snarl and the whole thing. He still looks like he's pissed off punk guy. And he's probably 70. Billy Idol goes on 3rd. Going on 4th. You knew that we each had to have for CanCon. We had to get a Canadian in there for Canadian content. Bryan Adams. Bryan mother flipping Adams. Now, I did go see him a couple years ago.
Really?
I was, because you're not going to ask me. I was 6 rows back from the stage.
Jesus.
That dude can still sing. Tons of hits. Plays his hits. Looks great. In phenomenal shape. He's awesome. Bryan Adams is killer live, dude.
Wow.
He's awesome live.
No shit. Huh.
Bryan Adams is probably my co-headliner.
Wait. If you got to see him, would you be in heaven? No, we're not doing that.
You're going to edit that out of the podcast?
I am. I probably will. Yeah.
Nobody, as at this moment, we're still just taping. There's no way you're leaving that in.
No, I probably won't. I can cut that out because anytime I look foolish, I cut it out. Yeah.
My headliner, you kind of already mentioned them. The Goo Goo Dolls would headline my mixtape festival. So I think it would have to be a co-headline with the Goo Goo Dolls and Bryan Adams.
Yeah. Dude, switch it around.
And Billy Idol, he gets his spot right now. He kind of gets it. He knows that he's the nostalgia guy. I think he's going to be okay. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking that he's going to have to go on second. Alanis Morissette, probably third. Yeah, I don't think Alanis is not going to go on before Billy Idol. So that's the only thing I got to move. So Alanis goes on third. Billy goes on second. Billy Idol goes on second. Billy Squier, I got a back-to-back Billy, 2 for Tuesday. Billy Squier opens up my show just because we don't know what's going on with him. I have no idea if he has teeth. I have no idea if I don't know if he's 300, 400 pounds. Dude, I don't think he played voodoo a couple years ago. I don't know if you were scrambling trying to find something. I don't think Billy Squier has done anything in a long time.
No,
which may void him out from my list at all. I'm just hoping. I know he's not dead. So
no, he's alive.
That's why I'm putting him in there.
He's 71. Billy Squier, he's my kind of lover, dude. Fucking throw something at me. Wait, somebody hit me with a shoe or something.
What? Okay, but you're just fucking playing into my hand, dude. I got hit after hit after hit on these guys. Everybody's got a hit. This is my mixtape, dude. This is my mixtape. Boom.
Dude, you sound like you got a rebel yell going right now. Chill out, okay? Chill out all day, dude. I'll sit here all day and do this stupid shit. Oh my God, give me a fucking radio show, dude. Give me a fucking honk horn or something. Dude, I like that. See, I had the Goo Goo Dolls on my list, and I took them off, and I had them on. I took them off. I had them on. You know what? Ask me in 20 minutes, I'll change my entire list. It's a hard thing to do. Put together a
concert.
A second tier concert, basically, is what you're looking at, like a nostalgia. There's a nostalgia to it. Yours is a little bit older. Your SKU's older than mine.
My SKU's older, and my bands are way more expensive. Goo Goo Dolls and Bryan Adams, they're going to charge me a lot. They're going to, I bet you Alanis Morissette.
No, she's going to charge because she's out right now, man. She's kind of got a bit of a hot ticket right now with her, she did the Broadway thing or the off-Broadway thing. She's got a name now. She's on that TV show. She's one of the judges on some stupid TV show now.
Well,
she's doing, Billy Squier, fuck, dude, a hot Coke and a couple of cheeseburgers. I think you got him.
Fucking Squier. I got the best. You wanted the best opener of all time, Billy Squier. Dude, I got chicks, I got MILFs, I got everything. I'm telling you, this is a lineup that I'm submitting to Live Nation. And I'm going to say, you want to make money? Here's your lineup. Rod's mixtape. You got to call it Rod's mixtape, though. Rod's mixtape tour.
Do you want to make Moni?
Fuck now you're just fucking looking up song titles and trying to be dumb. And you're trying to piss me off in my moment here because my mixtape, my lineup is killer.
I do like it. You know what? I would like to see, I've seen Billy Idol. I've seen Alanis Morissette. I've seen the Dolls. I haven't seen Bryan Adams.
He's good. He's good, dude.
I haven't seen.
He could sing his ass off. And he never really sang out of his range so that he could age into those songs. And you could always drop a key and you can still get away with, he doesn't have to hit. He just never sang anything that was so high that you knew that, okay, he's not going to be able to do that when he gets to be old man. But he looks killer, dude. Like he's in great shape. Everybody, I got the best looking tour. Sans Squier, I don't know anything about him. But everybody else, dude, this concert is going to be fucking sponsored by P90X. Okay.
Fucking wheelchair company.
No. Everybody is fit. This is a real show.
When tickets go on sale, Rod, I'm going to run to you. All right. All right. Jesus Christ.
Now you're
Shut
just
up.
making me mad.
I know. That's why I do it. It's the only
Now
reason
you're
I'm
just
here.
upsetting me.
I know. You going to quit? You going to quit?
Let's take a break. I want to talk a little Halloween. And I want to ask you, and I'll give you 60 seconds to think about it.
Good.
In 60 seconds, I'm going to ask you, why the fuck are you not watching Squid Game? I want you to come up with it. Not zip it. I want an answer in 60 seconds.
All right. I'll give it to you.
Okay, Pirates of the Quarter Tours just announced. Get this. You guys are getting hot information here. Pirates of the Quarter Tours just announced as a travel and hospitality award winner for 2021. I'm going to have to bring my bell in here. Bing. I'll have to keep them here at the house. You would get they would get a bell for that for sure. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. I'm super proud. The Pirates named Innovative Tour Company of the Year. There's no other walking tour like it in New Orleans. For the Houston audience, you hear me doing live spots. We just talked about the NOLA by NOLA thing happening this weekend and for the next 10 days. And you hear me talking about the streets are full of music again. And the shops are open and the French Quarter is back and rocking. And there's music everywhere. So the shops are open and you're going to see pirates. And I say it all the time. And I see some pirates roaming around in the quarter. So there's no other walking tour like it in New Orleans. You walk Royal Street, Pirates Alley, Jackson Square. You're hearing stories of smuggling cannons, sword fights, and so much more. And these are real historical stories. Not to say that these other tours, I'm just telling you that these guys have facts. They're fun. You're continuing partying and you're walking around with your drink in your hand and you're listening to these amazing tales and you're having a good time. Okay. Discover the pirate history on this fun, informative walking tour of the French Quarter. Spots are booking up. So you hear me talking about fall is an amazing time to get to New Orleans. October is a magical month to be in New Orleans. Reserve your pirate tour today, piratesofthequarter.com. And there's a link wherever you get this podcast.
You know, Rod, if we get the time change coming up. So, I know they do like a 10 a.m. tour and then they do like a 4:30 p.m. tour. So
do they?
So when you do the 4:30 p.m. tour, you'll be in the dark. All night, baby.
So that
all fucking night. I know it's a long way to go.
That was a callback to Billy Squier.
2013, he played Voodoo. I just dug it up. 2013, Billy Squier. Now it's 7-8 years ago. He played the Voodoo music experience in New Orleans. He did.
Is that the last show he's ever done?
I don't know. He's one of those weird recluses. He must have made enough money back in the day or something. I don't know. I would love to see him perform. He's got hits. Got so many hits. Anyway,
maybe I'll invite you to my mixtape tour. Before I get into Halloween, why aren't you watching Squid Game on Netflix? It's the #1 show in 90 countries right now around the world. It's now the biggest thing that Netflix has ever carried it. I believe it just overtook Bridgerton. Why aren't you watching this show?
I just found out about it about a week ago. Got to be honest. All of a sudden, it just blew up on the radar. Like I didn't hear about it, and all of a sudden, bam! The Squid Games or whatever the fuck it's called. I'm like, what? And then I know nothing about it, and I'm still catching up on Ted Lasso. So it may be a little while before I catch up on this squid thing.
It's good, dude. It's not great. It's good. I binged it last weekend, and on Friday of last week, Tessa's talking about how there's this show on Netflix that's set to be the biggest thing. It's going to overtake Bridgerton. She's explaining it, and I'm like, that sounds horrible. Now, some of it was her explanation. But I just, but
that's pretty funny.
Also, it did sound horrible. And so Friday night, my wife's got the kid routine, the bath and everything, and read the book and sing the songs and everything. My wife's doing that. I'm like, hey, okay, Squid Game. I'm going to give it 10 minutes. I gave it 10. I gave it 15. Okay, now we're in. Okay, one episode. Let me just see what happens. 6 hours.
Oh, Jesus.
I watched 6 episodes of it back to back to back because I got to watch this stuff. I'm never going to get another shot to watch this. So then I watched 2 when my kid napped on Saturday, and then I caught 1 on late Saturday night for an hour. I got in all 9 episodes on the weekend. I mean, super loser, nothing going on in my life. It's not the best thing I've ever watched, but it's really good. It's really, really good. You just got to put up with some bad overdubbing. Like those old Godzilla movies where the mouths didn't match up what they were saying. So there's there's some kind of horrible overdubbing going on, but you kind of forget about it. I'm not trying to push the show any more than I have. I've talked about it on the air a couple of times this week. Everybody that's gone to watch it has thanked me and said, wow, I didn't think I would like something like this. It's just something that's kind of new, unique. It's, I've never watched the Hunger Games before, so I don't know what that's about. I did watch a little bit of Black Mirror, and I thought some of the writing was really good. I thought it was very smart. Just when you remember watching early Quentin Tarantino stuff, how his stuff just looked different. This has a different look to it. It's got a very lo-fi, I don't know if the reference is going to be old, Logan's Run. Like back when we were kids, there was a movie, I think, called Logan's Run, and it just looked awful, but it was this sci-fi, lo-fi sci-fi thing, and this has that look to it.
Dude, every reference on this podcast is old. So I mean, you're not really blowing anybody's mind with that. I'll probably check out. I just got to give it time. I've only got so much. I try to not get too caught up in too many shows at once. I kind of like stick in my lane, watch all of Ted Lasso. I think I'm done with that. I don't know if they're doing any more episodes this season or not. Love that. Love that. I just freaking love that, man.
I want to watch it. I'm not paying another fucking nickel for cable. Okay. And I'm not going to sit here and beat up my cable company. I'm just not paying anymore. Okay. The bill comes in and I'm just like, fuck. Alex, Tessa, they're raving about it. They love Apple. They worship at the altar of Apple. So of course they have Apple TV. I go, how much? They're at $10. I go, no, I'm not spending another $10. They're like, the show is good. I'll pay for it, Rod. I go, no, you won't. I'm not doing it. So I don't have Apple TV. I'm sure I would love Ted Lasso. I good. Really, really want to see it. I love Jason Sudeikis. I love him. I think really he's like awesome. Now. So then I'm built for this show.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. He's fucking great in it.
Whenever I get around to it.
He blew me away in some of the scenes and I was like, holy shit. So I ain't got time for that, bro. I'm decorating for Halloween.
25 days till Halloween.
Pumpkins, man. I'm getting my shit together for Halloween, candy and stuff, man. You got to scare the kids.
How old's Henry?
Just turned 13 and
what does Halloween mean to him? Where is he at with Halloween?
He's a tough putt, man, because you know what? And this is going to sound crazy. He doesn't like candy. What kid in the world doesn't like candy? He's never eaten it. He doesn't like it. He trick or treats and he comes home and he goes, like the first time we did it when he was like 4 or whatever, we took him out and he's like, I don't want this stuff. Like, what am I doing? Why am I going to these strangers' houses and knocking on the door for something I don't want? We're like, you got to do it, man. That's what kids do.
But then moving forward though, as he got into, when you get 5 and 6, man, the thrill of the chase and everything, did he enjoy the process? Even though if you don't dig candy, you still like being out late. It's dark. You got your buddies around. You're dressed up.
Yeah, he likes that. He even said, man, I can't wait to go out with his buddies and run up and down the street a million times and do their dumb shit. And it's the freedom of it all. And then the whole thing is cool and dressing up. And he's always got very fucking weird costumes all the time, and he just doesn't care, and it's great. He comes home and he goes here. And I'm like, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got all the
He doesn't care about any of the, there's not one thing in there that he likes.
He doesn't give a shit. He just goes, here, I don't want it. I'm like, wow, this is the greatest kid ever, man. So, but he digs everything else about it, and costuming in New Orleans. I mean, you go into your attic in New Orleans, there's 500 costumes because there's always something going on. You need a costume. So, dressing up and doing shit is a big deal in New Orleans. Now, I know obviously you have got the princess party going on. So you're probably gearing up in a whole different way.
So yeah, Elsa last year for the kid. And then she wanted a princess unicorn that we saw. Jesus. So she's all dialed in, princess unicorn, buy the costume, princess unicorn, costume in the house, trying to save it, make it special. So I'm not really letting her wear it and run around with it. If you ask my kid right now, what are you going trick-or-treating in? Elsa. I'm like, what? We just bought this new costume for this year. You were Elsa last year. Let's try something new. No, I want to be Elsa. So I don't know. it is cool. She's 3.5. And she's been out trick-or-treating every year of her life. So she's gone on the last couple of years. And this is the first year that she really knows going ahead of time. She knows what she's going to be doing. She remembers last year. So kids next door is kind of a group of them, and then we'll all go out and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty fun. Where I live in Houston in the Heights, this is where they just bus kids in. Okay. Yes. And they just, I mean, parents, they'll load up the minivan and then they'll just let them all out and they just let the kids go and terrorize this neighborhood. This is one of the neighborhoods. The houses are close. Everybody's decorated. So it looks like, okay, these people are down for full size. Guess what? You can't afford to give full size. I gave full size at my other house when I had about 25, 30 kids.
Right.
Full size, I'll go full size all day. Fucking, you're getting little fun size at this house. I'll give you chocolate. I will give you chocolate, but I got to go fun size. Dude, I'm talking thousands of kids. It's insane. Now, last year wasn't quite as many. The first year, I didn't know what to prepare for. It was my first year in this house. And Mimi's out there. Okay, grandma is out there and she's giving kids handfuls. And I'm like, hey, Mimi, one piece per kid. 7 o'clock rolls around and you start giving out candy at 5. 7 o'clock, we're almost out. I got to go make a run. I got to go make a run to the store. No. So I got to buy a shit ton of candy.
Dude, Dum-Dums and double bubble. That's it. That cheap shit. Dum-Dums and double bubble. Yeah. You're going to have eggs all over your house the next morning, man.
Yeah, that definitely got you. I egged houses that gave out Pal. Our thing, you were an asshole. If you give out Pal gum, Pal gum, shit was hard as a rock. It was like bazooka gum, Pal gum, boom. Something was happening to your house.
Yeah, for sure. We had some dick on our street gave out pencils. I'm like, what? Fuck you, dude. I can't eat a pencil. Come on. Now, don't be like that guy. Don't be doing that shit. When I do Halloween, being an audio nerd and being a guy with a studio, every year I'll sit down and I'll probably do it this weekend and I'll sit down and I will create like a 5-minute audio piece with all the scary shit and the music and sound effects. So over the last 10, 15 years, I've probably got 2 hours and I'm the only fucking guy in the world with it. It's a custom-made audio scape, and I put the speakers out and spread them out, and it's all stereoed out, and it's scary as fuck, man. And the little kids come up, and they hear the music, and I make it just as evil as I possibly can, and it just loops all night. And everyone who walks up, they're like, the fuck? That's scary. I'm like, yeah. Like, I want to see little kids piss their pants on the way down my driveway. So if you bring Elsa to my house, dude, be ready to go, because I'm here. I believe in the true spirit of Halloween, scaring the shit out of little kids.
This neighborhood goes all out. There's a lot of that going on. I'll probably just throw on, to be honest with you, I'll probably throw on the iHeart Halloween channel. But that'll be playing outside. Smoke machine.
Yes.
Bubble machine.
Bubbles aren't scary.
Lights. Yeah, bubbles are cool. Everybody digs bubbles.
I know.
And then I'm going to bring back the tube. The tube worked out really good.
Oh, now slingshot in the candy to kids.
So right? Yeah. So I got the PVC. So I got a 8-foot PVC tube that I rigged up that goes down the stairs. So Mimi is going to be passing out the candy because we got to take the kid out, right?
Yeah, you got to be gone.
You can't just close up. And, you can't flip a coin, mom will take the kid or dad will take the kid. We both want to go.
Hell yeah.
So grandma's here passing out the candy. And to make sure that she stayed a safe distance away from everybody, we came up with this 7-foot PVC tube that I rigged up that all she has to do is just slide it down and then boom, it goes down to the kids and she stays away. Awesome. So because our porch is, about 6 steps up, our house is raised. So I'm going to bring back that. So we're going to use that again this year. And decorations started going up this past weekend. So I really don't want September. I don't want pumpkin stuff out in September. It really has to be October 1st for me. Just for me. I don't shit on other houses because Halloween is so big in this neighborhood that people did start doing stuff middle of September. And I appreciate all the effort that they do with their homes. So I don't crap on it. If you want to put lights on your house and if you want to, go early on Christmas and stuff, I'm over it. I don't care. You can put up stuff whenever you want. Since the pandemic, you got to do stuff to make you happy. So I've chilled out a lot. For me personally, I don't want pumpkin shit out. I don't want a bunch of stuff out because we have to take stuff down and then put in bins. The decorating in this house, I have a pretty good size house. I have a fucking storage unit. Okay. I have a storage. Now, Jason and I grew up, we had basements, and I'm sure between the attic and your parents' house and the basement, that's where you kept your Christmas tree and your Christmas decorations and all of that.
No problem.
So I have a storage unit. I pay money to house bins of shit. And it's not the smallest one. It's a good size storage unit. That's decorations, dude. My wife decorates for everything.
But dude, first of all, it always looks great. I know with your place in New Orleans, you guys come in for holidays, the place is decorated. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. But just as a little aside here, if you got rid of all that shit, you could afford to watch Ted Lasso and you come off the $10 to get that.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, I'm just trying to think angles here for you, bro. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to work it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be able to, if I got rid of the storage unit, then I would free up some Ted Lasso funds.
I mean, I'm just trying to think out of the box here, man.
Where do you put all that shit? Where do you put all of that shit?
Everywhere. I got shit in the attic. Our house, my wife came up with this 12, 13 years ago. And I've seen it a lot more in the last couple of years. I'm not saying she invented it. I'm just saying that she just said, hey, you know what I want to do? I want to get a bunch of fucking spiders. Big fucking spiders. So she takes all this effort and we got all these big spiders and they're crawling all over our house. So it looks like there's spiders. And that's it. That's what we decorate. And we cobwebs and shit. So our house looks like it's been overrun by giant spiders. So
where do you store the spiders? I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with storage.
Oh, dude, I tell you what, every time I go into the attic to get Christmas shit, I got to move every fucking spider out of the way. And then I got to move the hollow, it's just everywhere. It's everywhere. My attic. It's everywhere.
So the storage unit, half of it is Christmas bins. I've got 30 Christmas bins, dude. Okay. 30 Jesus easily. Christ. Oh my God. So that's half. Then I got to get a rotator going. Okay. The 4th of July shit's got to move over here. And then I don't want to, I don't want to pin in all, the Halloween stuff. You keep trying to work ahead on the, okay, what's the next stuff I'm going to use? Because then boom, I'll put this in there and you got to rotate. We got 8 bins for Mardi Gras. It's just, there's shit. We just have a lot of stuff. So, and I like it. It's worth it. It's great. I love having that. Ours is the party house. It always is the party house. It's nice to have a little downtime when there's no decorations, but starting right now, Halloween goes right into Thanksgiving. And there's fall decorations for us here in this house and then right into Christmas. So when these Halloween decorations go up, the house is not normal, meaning normal non-decoration time. It's, it's 3 months. Yeah. And then we go right into Mardi Gras.
Yep.
And we decorate the shit out of this house for Mardi Gras. It's a lot, man. It's like half a year this house is not just normally sitting as a normal house.
You have to physically get in your truck, drive to a storage place to get your fucking decorations and then come back home.
No, I got a little fucking storage fairy that comes and does it for me. So what they do is they send these little cherubs and they pick it up and they're naked, but it's cool. And then they pick up the stuff and they fly it over there and they do it all for me. It's all a part of the deal. Yeah, in my truck.
Fucking easier if they
loads. Loads.
I would never decorate. Never get it done. I would be like, I'm not going over there to pick up all their shit, man. I mean, again, I appreciate the effort. I love it. Man, I can't do it.
My mom decorated when we were kids and she flipped the house, meaning everything that was my house was knick-knacky. Okay. Nicks and knacks and shit and stuff. And I get that from my mom. There's a lot of stuff in my house. My mom, when I say she flipped the house, Christmas was replaced everything. There was just Christmas shit everywhere. So all the shelves and stuff that had, So it just became Christmas stuff.
Yep.
And we had a ton of it, but we had an attic, we had a basement, that stuff, that's where the stuff went. But I grew up like that with a lot of decorations. It wasn't Griswoldy outside with all the lights and everything. It wasn't like that. But the inside, I mean, our house was more decorated than all of my friends. But it was decorated for Easter. It was decorated for, my mom put up stuff for Valentine's Day. My mom decorated, and it was cool. And my wife does that. And I think a lot of it, she does it because she knew I grew up that way, but she likes it too. And I think, I don't think she grew up decorating quite as much as we do now, but I'm just an expanded version of what I did growing up. I just have nicer, cooler, bigger things. I will say, I do want to, much like I would love to take the guy out that put wheels on luggage, I would also like to take the guy out that came up with the inflatables. Because, bro, that shit's easy to store.
It was tiny.
That those big plastic things, they don't break down. Plastic Santa Clauses. We'll talk about that around Christmas time. But all these big things that I kind of want to buy, you have to store them. Mm-hmm. Like those big, huge ornaments and stuff, they don't break down. Nope. You just got to put those somewhere. The inflatable is kind of genius. Okay. So I want that 12-foot tall skeleton. I just don't want to fucking store it. I want that skeleton at Home Depot. It's cool as shit. There's 3 of them in the neighborhood. There's 3 of them within a driving range from my front yard. They look cool as shit. I want one. I don't want to store it.
You could get a bigger unit. You could get a bigger unit, storage unit, and then you got that big giant ass skeleton.
Shut up.
You talk about the blow up ornaments or the yard things, right? So my next door neighbors, right? And they got younger kids. I think their eldest kid is like 10. Then you're looking at 6, and then you're looking at like 3, and the 3-year-old's a little girl. Okay. So you got younger kids. So me and my son, we're sitting there, and they got a big blow up. What's those little fucking yellow guys? Those Minions, right? The Minion dudes, right?
Despicable Me.
Yes, that's what it is. And they got one in their front yard, and it looks great. And it's blown up, and it's just out there, just lit up and waving. So I look at my son. I go, you know what we should do for Halloween? He goes, what? I go, we should get Minion costumes, right? And then go get like Minion dolls, and then like chop their heads off and their arms off and bloody them up and throw them all over the front yard and walk around like beat up minions. He goes, dude, the little girl's going to cry.
Yeah, there you go. Well, at least.
Yeah, that's what Halloween's all about. Scare the little kids, man. I go, you're missing He goes, that would be cool, but that's kind of mean. I go, yeah, it is a next door neighbors, and we kind of like them. So it's probably not a good look, if you want to keep your good relationship with a neighbor. But I was like, fuck. See, Halloween, it's all about the scare. Scariest movie you ever saw, Rod? I know you're not a big scary movie guy. Scariest movie you ever saw?
Salem's Lot. I don't have to think about it. That fucking brother floating outside the window. It terrifies me to this day. I think it's a made for TV movie too. Jesus. We had 4 channels back in the day, right?
Right.
So I'm almost positive it was made for TV. Look it up. Salem's Lot. Girl's laying in bed, and her fucking bro, is floating outside, and he's just like this. If you're not on the YouTube channel, you got to at least put it on for this. He's just floating, and he's like knocking. Let me in, sis. Scariest shit I've ever seen. It ruined me. That's why I don't watch. Did I have to think even 2 seconds after you asked me?
No.
That scene ruined me on scary movies. I'm done. The little bro, someone's going to send me I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning. And then as soon as people get to this part of the podcast, they're going to go find the scene, and I'm going to get it 10 times in my inbox. I won't watch one of them. I won't look at it again.
They're going to rickroll you with fucking Salem's Lot floating brothers spot. You know what I do love?
Check out this great Billy Squier video, and it's going to be the fucking brother floating in the window from Salem's Lot. What's the scariest movie you ever saw?
I watched Hellraiser, the original one. That's the guy with all the needles on his face.
Yep, never saw it. I know exactly what it is.
Holy fuck, dude. That still disturbs the shit out of me. It's just got that look like you were talking about earlier.
Is it still scary, though? Like, does it hold up, or is it cheesy scary? Because I feel like...
I don't know if it holds up. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Isn't Freddy Krueger isn't it silly now? Like the one-liners and stuff? Is Is it almost comical or is it still scary?
I never got into the Freddy Kruegers, man. I think I saw like one of them and I was like, all right, I get it. But the
Pinhead
Hellraiser thing,
he's scary guy.
There's a lot of weird fucking shit in that movie. And I still
Is there a box? Is there a box?
Yeah, there's a box and it opens up if you touch it wrong and it all hell breaks loose and hell on earth. It's just fucked up. It's very eerie.
Dude. Hellraiser. Motorhead.
Oh, nice. And then every Halloween, I still watch the original Halloween movie because I love the suspense. It's got that eerie look to it still. It's, I like the older style of horror movies where it's more suspense than slashing and blood everywhere. The blood everywhere thing gets old. That's just a cheap trick. Give me the suspense. Give me that fucking, what the fuck's next feeling in my gut for the whole thing.
So is that the one where the kid like comes flying out of at the end of the movie? Which one is the camp where the girl's in the rowboat and then the crazy mutated kid as the jump scare at the very end?
Is that the Friday the 13th, the Jason hockey mask movies?
I don't know, dude.
I'm not really either. So
dude, this guy at the very end. You don't know that?
I'm sure that's in most of them, man.
She's just sitting there. Okay, let me paint the scene for you. You really got to watch this on YouTube now. So she's on the lake. She's the one survivor, right? She's in a rowboat, some camp, right?
I think that
and
is
anybody that was banging, okay, Jason or Freddie Jason and Mike Myers, none of them liked anybody that had sex. You got killed, all right?
Yeah.
So here she is in the rowboat. And it's the end of the movie, just like Carrie. Carrie's got that with the hand at the very end. Sorry, I'm ruining a movie from the 70s. So she's on the rowboat. And then all of a sudden, this fucking mutated kid comes out. And then that movie ends. And I'm like, go fuck yourself right there with the dumb kid and the jumping and the out of the water. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with your face? Well, how are you breathing underwater? This is the last chick that's alive. And then that's the end of the movie. Go fuck yourself. No, no.
If it feels, but see, that's the thing. The jump scares are great, but if it feels like you can see it coming, then it's no good, And I'm a big fan of the older movies. So like during the Halloween,
I don't think back in the 70s you knew that was coming. I mean, at some point it was a new movie.
Right. But nowadays it's like more about the, like the Saw movies. I never saw one of those. I don't want to see people getting chopped up into fucking tiny bits. What's the point of that? That doesn't do it for me, man. That's just creepy. Give me the Halloween movies are fucking so messed up. The first couple anyway.
And then they all have jump scares in them, right?
Of course, man. That's what it's all about. It's that tension and that suspense.
I hate that tension. What you're explaining to me, it's the same thing when somebody, they do those fucking hot wings interviews and they're dying. They're like, oh my God, these wings are so good. And they're eating and they're sweating and they look like they're so uncomfortable. Hot foods, I don't get it.
No,
it doesn't seem fun to me.
No.
Being scared shitless, that's not fun. Like the that's not fun. He's coming. Why did you falling? None of it's fun. I'm having a panic attack right now thinking about it. Why do you eat hot foods? Why do you watch scary shit? They're both the same to me. I don't get it.
And you never want to be a fucking 17-year-old blonde chick in a horror movie because you're the first to go. Every time you're fucking dead.
That's the worst with the guy. Like you thought she's the blonde. She made it. No. There's not a ripple on the pond, dude. She's just sitting there and she's just thinking about all her dead friends. And then this guy.
No thanks, man. And I don't watch a lot of horror movies. So we're probably the worst two dudes to talk about horror movies. But I just know that Hellraiser and like the original Halloween, I love watching that one because it does have that weird suspense to it.
1986. The movie is called Trick or Treat. Fastway does the soundtrack to it.
Jesus Christ.
The fucking music is phenomenal.
Really?
Okay. The music is phenomenal and it stars, wait for it, Skippy from Family Ties.
Oh, I've seen that.
Dude, his name is Mark something or other.
Yeah.
And he plays a metalhead. They all make fun of him. Gene Simmons is the local DJ. Ozzy is a pastor. And I believe Netflix is running it. I went to the theaters to go see this movie and we lost our minds. It's probably cheesy as F.
No.
But I'm telling you right now, if you want to go watch a rock Halloween movie, not scary, but cool.
Gotcha.
Trick or Treat is my gift to you today. Wow. I watch it every year. Dude, I went out, we bought the sound. I had that cassette. Then I went and bought the CD. Dude, Fastway. They do every song in it because the guy sings in the movie and he's the singer. Those are the songs that he plays because it's about a rock star that dies.
Oh,
and
okay. All right.
And the Fastway songs are so great. They're so great.
So at the end, is the singer from Fastway sitting in a boat in a lake and it's real calm and that's how it ends with some weirdo jumping out? These movies suck. I don't want to talk about these movies anymore. Rod, let's wrap this thing up. Any final thoughts today?
I was going because I looked it up today because I knew we were going to maybe just chit chat a little bit. I'm sure we're going to talk more about Halloween.
Yeah,
but I looked it up and Netflix is running it. So that was also my final thought was going to be, if you are looking for a movie, I do like to kind of turn you on to a few maybe gems that you missed. It came out in 96. It was never a huge movie, but it was a theatrical release. Jeez. And I looked it up and it looks like Netflix. I went online and it said Netflix has it.
All right.
So
I'll check it out.
There's more than one movie called Trick or Treat. This is from 1986.
86. Okay, cool.
86. And
it's gotta be good then.
Skippy. His name is Mark. I'll go look it up right now when you give me your final thoughts. Go ahead.
Well, last week, Rod, I brought up the fact that if you listen to episode 25, near the end, I talked about there's this guy on Facebook who I'm not really real life friends with, but through the algorithms of Facebook, his shit always comes up on my page. And I don't like his stuff or anything like that. But all he ever posts, just to recap, is pictures of what he eats every day. 2-3 times a day.
You sent me a text of like, look at what my boy's eating today.
And he eats the worst fucking food. It's all fried and fat and sugary and all these horrible things, right? So the point of the exercise last week was, is there anyone that you follow on Facebook or someone who comes up and when they post, you kind of, for no real reason, you just kind of look in on it and go, that's fucked up. And over time, you keep seeing these certain people that maybe aren't necessarily your friends. And there's a little bit of a track record and a little bit of a story developing. And so I've got this story going in my head of this guy that I follow. And every time I see his shit come by, I have to stop and look because it's always the worst fucking food every single day.
What did you send me? Ribs or something? It looked delicious.
It looked okay. He eats a lot of good stuff, but it's all horrible for him, right?
Sure.
So then I brought up also the fact that he's probably 60-ish. He's overweight a little bit. Okay. And at one point he posted a picture of all these pills in a pile that he takes every day. Okay. So, and you kind of say, well, hey man, he's crazy, but you're also psycho for following along now because you're on a kind of a train wreck watch. Yeah. I'm like, I'm waiting the day that kicks in when he's at the fucking hospital having open heart surgery. And it's probably going to happen. I don't wish it on the poor bastard, but you see the writings on the wall. Well, quick update. Okay. Because now it's a thing and I got to bring everybody along on my little journey now. This dude, and again, I'm not seeking this out. His shit just came up this week. He got put in Facebook jail for posting something stupid, apparently. Okay. Don't
too
worry.
Many carbs?
No. He said something stupid. I don't know, whatever. Good news. His loving wife of many years, she posted pictures of what he was eating so everyone could keep up. And I was like, oh, you got to be fucking kidding me, right? Dude, she posted a picture of, have you ever seen in the store, and I don't imagine you're eating this for breakfast before you go on the air, but if you are, holy shit, Reese's Puffs. It's like peanut butter and chocolatey Puffs cereal.
No, I'm not eating that.
No, it's fucking horrible. It's loaded with sugar.
Sounds delicious though.
Okay. She posted that he had Reese's Puffs with extra sugar poured on top.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
As a nightcap. And then the next post, when he got out of jail, he posted a picture of all his pills. And you know how you got the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday little containers? And
does he brag about the pills? Who posts pictures of their pills online?
He's real proud of those pills. Dude, this is what I'm saying. I can't not. I have to follow this guy now. It's driving me fucking crazy. He posted a picture of all his pills.
He's liking these posts?
No. I don't want to encourage this behavior at all. It's fucking
But you're
terrible.
friends with him on Facebook.
For whatever reason, I think he sent a friend request years ago and it's just there. He's on cholesterol meds, blood pressure meds, and blood thinners. So then, there's going to be comments. Somebody commented exactly what I would have said. Hey, dude, stop eating dog shit. And you could probably get off of half of these pills, if not all of them. And his response was, no, my doctor says these are great. I'm doing awesome. Bro, clean up your fucking diet. So anyway, I just want to give you an update on my Facebook tragedy. I got to come up with a name for this so it's easier to spell out, but a tragedy in the making, I'm afraid, my point is eat a little healthier and you can get rid of your pills, bro. At the end of the day, it's awful. And there's going to be a point on this podcast where I'm going to have to come on down the road and tell you some fucking horrible news. And I'm going to feel terrible about it.
Are you worried about him having a stroke?
See, it's fun, isn't it? When you do it, it's fun. It is fun. It is.
A little callback to my Billy Squire opening up my mixtape festival.
And I didn't get a chance to slide this in earlier, but I'm going to bring it back around because I can't let this go. Oh, I just fucking ruined it too. I know you brought the unicorn.
I bought a unicorn princess outfit for my kid that she doesn't appear to be wanting to wear now.
And she'd prefer to be Elsa. And I know you're a little upset, but Rod, you got to let that go. Fuck off. I quit. I'm out. I'm done. That's enough for this week. Episode 26 in the books. Thank you to Pirates of the Quarter Tours in New Orleans and Lucky's Pub West in Houston.
Thank you for rocking me tonight.
You're my kind of lover.
Stop. Done. I'm out of here. I'm never doing this podcast again.
Oh, it sounds like you're giving off a rebel yell.
Dude, my fucking mixtape concert is awesome. Just know that.
You ought to know. Oh, shit.
Good night.
Oh, fuck off.
This isn't better than me sleeping right now. This is not better than me sleeping. Bye, everybody.
I'm going to punch you in your iris.
Let's go. It's time. Put on the pants.
Find us wherever you listen to podcasts. See us on our YouTube channel and follow our social media pages at PlayPantsPod.